is everyone today? It's Amy. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. Wanted to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel. If you haven't done so, I hope you will, and would ask that you would share it with others. Isn't this YouTube channel thing awesome? I've used it for so many things. I've never been married, so I've used it to teach me how to work on my lawnmower, how to fix a leaky faucet, and just many things. Like me learning how to do this channel, I found a guy, his name is Gene, and his channel is Gene's Therapy. And apparently he was the caretaker for his wife who had terminal cancer, and he cared for her for quite a while before she passed away. And then when he did, he bought a motorhome and decided to travel and do a YouTube channel. And I have learned from him how to edit these videos. I know I'm not great at it. I'm still learning, but I want to thank him for putting on Power Director 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm going through those. And if you haven't taken a look at his channel, I hope you'll do that. It's been a blessing to me. One of my vlogs that I had done was Race City, USA in Mooresville, and we had gone into an 80,000 square foot antique mall, and I'd shared that I love antiques, and I'd mentioned the Antique Roadshow. And I don't know if any of you all have ever watched the Antique Roadshow, but it's on your local PBS channel, usually on Monday nights. They have been doing the show since 1997 up until today. They did cancel the 2020 shows because of COVID. I think they go to about 20 cities a year. And for you that don't know about it, they come to the city. They do have tickets that you can apply for online. And usually 25,000 people apply for these tickets for 2,000 tickets. And unbelievably, I've won twice. And which is incredible because I never win anything. I'm not saying I haven't seen the blessings of God, but when it comes to winning things, I just don't win. But twice I have gotten to go to the Antique Roadshow. So when you go, you are allowed to take 2 items, and you stand in line for whatever item, you know, if it's coins or pictures or folk art or whatever, you stand in that line, and an appraiser will look at your item and then tell you how old it is, where it was made, and most importantly, is it worth anything? And so I have found out by going twice that we must have had poor ancestors. The first time that I went was to Raleigh, North Carolina, and they always go to convention centers. And let me tell you, if you ever do go, whatever, you take those 2 items, but you are in charge of carrying those items, and there's no sitting, no seats anywhere. So all day you are going to carry whatever you bring. So my family had taught me into taking 2 gold pocket watches from great-grandfathers and an antique shotgun. And let me say, this gun was heavy. So I drug it around the whole time I was there, and come to find out, I waited in the jewelry line. Or excuse me, let's back it up. I waited in the watch line, and the pocket watches were gold plated and worth not even $100. The antique gun, which was very heavy, was not even worth $100. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I'm just going to lay these things down here on the floor and leave, because I was so tired of carrying them around. So the next time I went was in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I had never been to Virginia Beach, so a girlfriend and I thought that we would make a weekend of it and stay all night. And I took 2 items again. And the first item that I took was a costume jewelry necklace and earrings of my grandmother. And if you watched my vlog on Dagmar, the television star from back in the 50s who was born in Huntington, West Virginia, I showed a picture of my grandmother, and I will do it again, but I'm going to show you a picture of the necklace that I took. And this was her necklace. I'm going to try to zoom in so you guys can see it. It's nothing you would probably ever wear. I think back then, maybe, you know, when they had events with evening gowns, you would wear them. But I just thought it was so pretty. And I think it was only worth $70. The next item that I took was a portrait that my uncle did in 1954. And let me tell you, when you go to the Antique Roadshow, if you ever take a picture, I stood in line for 2.5 hours because the picture line wound around the building to find out that this was worth under $100. But I want you to see how he did it. It is so interesting because it is charcoal scratched on white. So he didn't paint this, he actually scratched the portrait. And when you look in a minute to see, because we did find out this was a real person and we did some research to find out who it is, you'll see how close the image is to that picture. The interesting thing about this picture is after the Antique Roadshow, we wanted to know possibly who could this person be. So my dad did some research and found out this was Lewis P. Smith, born in 1871. And he was the founder, well, actually his father was, but after that he was the owner of the Ithaca Gun Company in Ithaca, New York. And he was quite a character. He was born in 1871 and lived until 1957. That he was friends with Frank Butler, who was married to Annie Oakley, and she had a lot of exhibitions with his guns. Also, I don't know if you remember John Philip Sousa. I think he was a musician back in those days, and he was friends with him. But Lou was quite a character. He was mayor of Ithaca several times. And I got online, and the Ithaca Gun Company is still in existence today. They are in, Sandusky, Ohio. And my father had written the company, and the receptionist at the company sent him the picture of Lou. So as you can see, can you believe the resemblance that my uncle had caught on this picture? But she sent pages from a book about this gentleman and his life. And I'm going to read you a letter that she sent my dad about Lou. And it said, it says, Ithaca Gun Company, May 15th, 2012. It was so nice to speak with you today by phone. I've enclosed the picture I promised you of Lou Smith. As I stated, I wish I'd known him because he was a fascinating character. The picture was taken from a book written by Walter Claude Snyder entitled The Ithaca Featherlight Repeaters, The Best Gun Going. I have also enclosed a few pages from another book written by Mr. Snyder, following the one mentioned above entitled The Ithaca Gun Company from the Beginning. This portion of the book is entitled Personalities, and the pages I'm sending are all about Lou. I thought you might enjoy reading about a man in the picture you are receiving. The very last paragraph of the story has the information regarding his death. Both of the books are very interesting and informative. In fact, since we did not obtain any of the records, etc., from the original company when the assets were sold off in New York in 2005, we get most of our information from these two books. I hope you enjoy both the picture and the enclosed information about Mr. Smith. Respectfully, Patty Cooper. So I just thought that was so cool about the picture, and that it was actually someone that lived and had an interesting life. A couple more interesting things about my trip to the Antique Roadshow. The second trip, the one in Virginia, the most expensive item found to date was on early in that morning, and it was jade. If you guys have any jade at home, you need to really check into it, because I have never seen jade that was not worth a lot of money. Matter of fact, the jade they had found that morning was worth $1.2 million, so check your closets. Another thing, when I was standing in line with the jewelry, you have to wait in line for quite a while, and there are people there from all over the United States, and I was talking to a lady, and she had told me that she was a large animal veterinarian, which, you don't meet many of those. Really nice. We talked for a long time, and I told her we were from out of town, and she said, "Oh, where are you staying?" And I said, "Oh, I got online and found a place that's called the Founders Inn." And she said, "Oh, that's Pat Robertson's place, Christian Broadcasting Network." And I'm like, "You're kidding, really? That is so exciting." So I didn't know anything about the Founders Inn, and when we got there, found out that CBN, Christian Broadcasting Network, was on the grounds, and the hotel was on the grounds of Regent University. And I will say this place was gorgeous. We had so much fun. It was done in the colonial style, and there were I'm going to say, well, it was an oil painting of every president in the hallways that had to be, let's see, I'm 5 foot tall. They had to be 10 feet tall, portraits of presidents, and it was just so much fun to go there. We walked the grounds of Regent University. It must have been off school time because there was no one there. We did drive down by CBN, where they had the large satellite dishes where they broadcast. So it was just so much fun. And when they come back on, hopefully soon, that we will pass all this and they'll start to have the show again. But if you are interested in antiques, if they're anywhere near here, believe me, when they come back on, I'm going to apply again, because it's just nothing like it if you love antiques. So I hope you've enjoyed this time with me today. Stick around, because next week we're going to be on the road, and I've got 2 great places we're going to go, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. And again, I want to thank you for watching and subscribing, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you. Till I see you again.